Hello and a very good welcome to what is hopefully the first of many videos on this channel. So today we're going to be building, as the title probably told you, a three-cylinder dragster car. So I've decided to pick this body. The main reason for that really is it's a wee bit longer, a wee bit wider, and it should be hopefully just easier to style. So the first thing we're going to need, I don't want to I don't really want to quality spam this, but we're going. Oh, my word, that was loud. But I'm still going to stick with the carbon fiber panel, monocoque, and sticking carbon fiber again. Um, as you would expect, it's to keep it lighter. A three-cylinder doesn't produce a lot of power, so we're going to need all the advantage we can get. Front longitudinal shouldn't be an issue fitting a three-cylinder in there. I'm just going to stick with double wishbone and multi-link in the rear. So going over to the engine, as we'd expect, it's going to be an inline 3. Again, we're going to stick with magnesium block. We're going to stick 5-cylinder dual overhead cams on with the aluminium silicate head, and I'm going to push the displacement up to about 2.5 litre, maybe about 2.2 for now, just to see how this goes. We're going to be sticking with rear-wheel drive, hopefully. Forged steel, lightweight titanium forged. That should hopefully be enough for the three-cylinder, and we're going to push it up to about +6 now. We'll likely end up with that up about +15. But for now, this should hopefully do the job. The reason we're going to have issues along here is because the three-cylinders don't like to sit at high capacities. They tend to throw the pistons and the rods. Stick variable valve. We're going to need a turbocharger because naturally we're going to need as much power as we possibly can get out of this. Stuck on a race preset, and then injection. I'm going to go with direct per cylinder. We might get away with the performance. The thing is, this is a small engine and it's not going to produce a lot of power, realistically speaking, so we may not need the extra. I don't think we're going to reach 1,000 horsepower in this. Stick it to ultimate fuel, naturally. Pushing it up, we'll say about 6,000 for now. I don't know how high we'll be able to get this to rev. We won't need any of that. Right, let's have a look. That's not too bad, actually. Right, first thing we're going to want to do is increase the RPM limit as high as we can go. What's limiting us there? I think that's probably the header, is it? Might be the turbo that's limiting us. If we increase the fuel anyway, we want to pull the compression down a bit more. I want to do this as quickly as possible because there's a lot of tuning can go into this engine very quickly. I had a quick test before in another, and I managed to get up to around about 840 horsepower. Although that said, the chances of me doing that again is quite slim. Compression can go up. I think we'll be able to increase the size of the engine as well, by the looks of it. That's knocking. Yeah, there we go. There's where we start to experience issues with the quality. We're going to have to stick that up full. Knocking again, push the fuel right up. And we're going to keep going with the displacement until we start to see issues. It's revving fairly high for now, which is nice. I think we'll get away with about that. It's in rev, it'll be fine, sure. What's the worst that could happen? Compression, we can bring the compression up for now. Although I have a feeling, actually, now I think about it, once we do a wee bit of work with turbocharger, we're going to need to bring it, down. Again, as I said, I don't want to spend too long on this engine. Starting to lead a lot of high end there. What's our issue? Torque. I wonder if we get away with that. We might just have to pull the displacement down slightly. Right, let's see how far that gets us. 673 horsepower isn't bad. Oh, no, we have done that. Balls. 673 horsepower isn't bad, but by the looks of things, we can get a bit more out of it. 705. There we go, that's a bit better now. Increasing the boost isn't going to help us much. Air restriction will help, but we'll naturally have 748, it's not too bad. 750. The issue is then we're starting to lose. Yeah. Our power drops from about 650. We're losing 7 or 100 horsepower around here. I can increase the RPM, but we're not really gaining much more. Let's hold that a second. Let's get back to a race. Increase the boost right up there. So nice sweet bit of power there. Okay, okay. Pull this down a wee bit more. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere now. I think we could stick around. What's limiting us here? That's not too bad. I'll take the 800 horsepower. Gosh, that is loud. Right, over to the styling. The first thing we're going to do, I like the red, but the red, well, that's how it comes out in Beam, which isn't a very nice red indeed. So if we pull the red, tone it down, that's quite nice there. I quite like the idea of red. Right, fixtures. What are we going to do? The plan is hopefully to keep this fairly simple. I wonder if we work with this. Okay. If we flip it, does it help? Ah, we're starting to get somewhere now. Right. I'm liking the way this is going. If we add... try that looks. That's not too bad. Again, don't want to spend too much time in this. I wonder if that looks a wee bit. I want it to follow the curves of these engines more here. I don't feel like this has quite got the shape for it. Or maybe it does. If we bring this out here, and then place something small in the middle here. Pardon me. I'm not sure. I wonder something along these lines. The issue is it's quite... I don't know. I'm quite liking the fair simplicity of it, is the issue. Maybe if we move to the back, we'll have a look at the front again anyway. We don't want arrow. Naturally, that will just drag us down, although I will put a fuel cap on it. Drag us. Door handles. Something fairly standard, just something to put on there for the look of it. That's not too bad. If we go for MERS, come on, shall. There you go. Something along those lines. Oh gosh, it's going to be a nightmare to add, isn't it? I am liking those. Works quite well. It's got a... I don't know what it looks like. In all honesty, I feel like it looks like something I know, but I can't quite pinpoint what it is it looks like. So as for now, we'll just stick with that. That's not too bad there. We don't want the rear tires to be too big, but I'll work with that in a minute. Oh, number plate, that's what we needed. I knew there's something. Do we put it up there? Do we put it down there? Do we put it right down there? I think we do. Does a drag new car need a number plate? Aye, sure, why not? We'll make it road legal in quotation marks. Right. Let's work with that. And then tail lights now. That's our next order of business. Let's have a look. I'm quite liking these. These are tail lights I've used fairly regularly in the past, actually. I think these are going to fit into this body shape quite nicely. It's a wee bit of work. That's not too bad. Ooh, I'm quite liking that, actually. It looks happy in a weird sort of way. I don't know. More along those lines, better. Again, that's really weird. Maybe not. Maybe if you bring it down here. Maybe if you put it about there. Use that line. Yeah, that's a bit better. Again, we don't want too much aero on it. Well, in fact, we want no aero if we're trying to build a drag car. All that's doing is providing us with drag. Let's go to the wheels next. My computer will load. Like that. Something, nothing too fancy. Be something along those lines. No, I'm liking the more simplistic style of this. I think it suits the overall simplicity of the car. Yeah, I like that. Right. Final step we want is, I can't remember for the life of me where diffusers are. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's see. Then bumper bars now. Right, what we'll do is we'll bring a vent down there. I kind of fancy quite a large, wide style on it. Something along this. That's a wee bit more promising there. What we're going to do here is we're going to use this for our exhaust. That is a wee bit weird. Maybe if you narrow it down a bit, then it looks weird again. Go for about there-ish. Yeah, that doesn't not work. I tell you what we do is we just put a double exhaust in the center of it and make that really big. We'll bring that to the front. Yeah. As long as we don't look at it too much, it should be okay. Although I like the front. It's a slight Ferrari-esque. If a budget Ferrari on the front. We'll go with that one. Right, drivetrain. I would like rear-wheel drive with an advanced automatic, and we're going to stick it up with 5-speed. Estimated top speed of 233. I don't think we're going to be pushing 200 mile an hour in a quarter mile. However, what I do want is I want a gear limited slip. I think the idea is we want a fairly sharp first gear because we want to be able to spin up the tires, because if we don't, you'll hopefully see in the car that I built and is testing, the engine tends to get bogged down, and then we drop to about 1500 RPM, which is down here, or 2000, and then we lose all our power, and then we've lost almost a second by the time we get into the power band up here. So the goal is, I bet you this thing's going to be slower than the desk car I built. Oh gosh, I bet it's going to happen. Right, radial, semi-slicks, we don't care too much. Rears we want to be fair big size. Fronts we want to be quite small. We basically want pizza cars on it. Gosh, that's smaller than the tires of my car. Right, offset it. That should be fine. That's not a bad little car if we ignore the back again. It's alright, I suppose. Alloy wheels. Where's magnesium? Magnesium's lighter. Right. Increase wheel size. Don't want anything too small. Yeah, it's not too bad there. Right. Switching on. Pistons. Yeah, it's not a big problem. Brakes. As small as is humanly possible. Carbon ceramic, I do believe, are the lightest. Yep. Pardon me. Stick the pad type up so we can partially brake. No downforce. Cooling flaps aren't a concern. Cooling, the turbocharger will probably overheat. It's alright, we're doing a quarter mile. Take out all the seats. I don't think this affects the weight, but let's not risk that one. Again, interior. Quality decreases the weight of that. I don't think it does. I heard someone mention that once, but I think they're wrong. Power steering, simple hydraulic, no traction needed, no safety. It's a drag car. If you die, you die. And then we get the springs. Something I have no knowledge of. Well, I know what air hydrogen pneumatic, and that's about it. And I know we don't want either of them. So we'll go for the things that look the sporty, and we'll set it to a race preset. That sounds about right. So it must be. That's how things work. Slightly towards oversteer. I bet you that's screaming about wheel speed. Yeah, that's it'll be fine. It's a viscous. I wonder if that's better. I think geared's better for drag. I say that very shakily. Yeah. Well, it's a ton. That's not bad. It's just over a ton, so it's fairly light. And it has got 800 almost exactly brake horsepower at peak, although it takes a while to rev up to that. So, all said, we're definitely not getting the 8-second goal I have for this. We'll try and get below 9 seconds, which is really poor, but it'll be fine. Right. What sort of names did I have? Let's just call it. This is a name of a car brand I have. I will just call it the Drag because I am incredibly original like that. What's the issue? Sphere issues wheel spin. We could very quickly see the car that I built previously out dragging this and using that for the video. But that said, I'll export it to Dream. Alright, and welcome back. About 40 minutes has passed since, well, what's been a few seconds for you, mostly because I've been having audio issues trying to record videos for the first time. But this is how the car turned out, and it's not been too bad as far as goes. The reds turned out reasonably well. It looks a little cartoonish, but it's pretty good. Although you will notice I've done some work to the back. I wasn't happy with the way it looked. And now I look at it, it kind of looks like it's, it looks like the front end of the car. But as we hurtled down the runway here, the launch wasn't amazing, but we're using all 5 gears, and that was a 9.7, which is, it's pretty crap if I'm being honest. We'll give it a go. In testing I got under 9.5, so we're hoping for that. That launch was a little better, it's still not amazing, but overall the controllability on the... Yeah, as I was saying, it's actually very controllable down the track, as long as you don't touch the steering whatsoever. The moment you do, that's... yeah, what happens? Yeah, looks like we're not going to get better than a 9.7, unfortunately. Well, I can't remember how to load up another car, so I will be back momentarily. Alright, welcome back again after more technical difficulties. I've finally got the final stage running. This is the car that I built yesterday when I was testing. Things to note, it's also red. It's quite obvious, just in case you didn't notice. The red in this has turned out a lot better than I expected this time. Again, quite simply styled at the front. It's not normal for me to go quite that simple, but I just like the way it looked. And the back, I absolutely love in this car. I really, really like the back. It reminds me of a Supra in a strange way. Not the lights, or really the exhaust or anything, but the body shape kind of reminds me of it. So we're just going to go with that. I'm not going to say nothing. But if I try and punt it down the drag strip this time, we should see a slightly better time than the car we just built. And the reason for that is quite simply this is an extra 46 horsepower on top of it at peak. And we have just froze apparently. Oh, no, we're good. A 9.27. Oh, that's the best yet. You know what? I'll take that. So yeah, other things to note in this car is it holds its power a lot better. It's a much better power band, it's much flatter, but I think that's really... oh gosh, I forgot the steering spur endings on this thing. Yeah, the front tyres for the drag don't really lend it well to parking. But yeah, that's been it for the episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'm very thankful you stuck this far through, but hopefully I will see you